Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, most merciful. Hello and welcome to a new episode of Teaching English on Dروس Super Goal 5. Before we start, I would like to welcome my colleague, Mr. Fawaz Al-Aqil, the interpreter to the sign language. As always, we start our class by reviewing the objectives, what we are planning to achieve at the end of this class. At the end of this class, inshallah, students will be able to change active sentences into passive in 3 different tenses. Also, they will make the vice versa. They will be able to change passive sentences into active ones in 3 different tenses, as we said before. Now we are at Unit 5, the last step in this unit. Unit 5 is under the title, Since When? And today we're going to study section number 12. Section number 12 is form, meaning, and function. We'll study mainly the passive, how to form passive sentences from active ones. Okay? Before we start, we'll make a quick revision on our previous lesson. If you still remember, in the previous lesson, we taught you how to write well, how to become a witty writer. And we agreed that when you want to be a good writer, you need to be careful about your vocabulary, your grammar, your spelling, your punctuation, and your handwriting, because this will appear in your writing and it will make your writing better. Above all, you need also to organize your ideas, to make your ideas organized so that the reader will feel happy or will like what you write. Okay? In the previous lesson also we talked about the cohesion, how to make your writing cohesive and how to make sentences linked to each other, and we studied some cohesive devices like demonstrative pronouns that we studied in the previous lesson. And we applied all that on a reading passage about my best or my favorite or my important possession, the thing that I own, and we read a 4-paragraph article about one boy telling us about his bicycle, and he considers this bicycle as the most important possession he has. Also, you were asked to write about your own possession, like for example your cell phone, or you write credit card, or you write about an airplane, about for example a laptop, or about a digital camera. You're asked to do that to find out which possession you think it is the most important to you, and you write about it, and you can follow the procedures and the things that the reading passage applied in the most important possession, which was a bicycle. Okay, also in the previous lesson when we read the article, which has 4 paragraphs, we had some vocabulary. Let's check if you can remember some of these words. Like we studied an adjective, and the word starts with E. Try to think of the word and try to remember what the word is. When we say an adjective starting with E, costing a lot of money. When something costs you a lot of money, can you describe it, or how can you use this adjective? We say like this one, it has a lot of money. You need to pay a lot of money for something. We can describe it as expensive. So we can say expensive. We had this word contextualized in our reading passage that we read in the previous lesson. In this example, I'd never bought anything so expensive before. He was talking about his bicycle, his bike. Okay, now we're talking about a noun starting with D, the place where someone is going. When you want to go to a place, what do we call this place? Okay, like this one, you can sometimes use some devices that help you to reach this place. It's a destination. We call it a destination. Okay, let's read the example. Sometimes I just ride it. Here it refers to, as we studied before, as an object pronoun, refers to the bike. Okay, sometimes I just ride it without any destination in mind, just going roaming and riding his bike just to roam only. Also, we have a verb starting with R, to put something that is damaged back into good condition. Okay, like this one. If there is something damaged and you want to fix it, we call it to repair something. To repair, let's read it in an example here. I have learned to repair a flat tire. Okay, a flat tire, when there is no air in the tire, it's called a flat tire. So the guy is telling us that he learned how to repair the flat tire. A noun starting with R, a piece of glass or metal for reflecting light in a required direction. Something that reflects light, what do you call it? We call it a reflector. Okay, so it seems that it lights at night for a kind of security. I have bought a reflectors. He's telling us about his bicycle and what he did in that. The last word here is a noun starting with D, the amount of space between two places. What do you call it? The amount of space between two places, we call it distance. We call it a distance. Let's read the example. I'm going to buy a cycle computer that calculates distance and speed. He was planning to fix or to install a cycle computer so that he can know how fast he runs in his bike, and also to measure the distance that he was going on. Okay, now we move to our main class of today, which is grammar. In this grammar, as we said before, we are going to study form, meaning, and function. What are we going to study? We're going to study the passive. Okay, we know that the English sentence, usually the English sentence starts like this. Like for example here, Sarah drives a car. The active sentence starts with the S, subject, then with the verb, then the object. Okay, where is the subject? Sarah is the subject, drives is the verb, and a car is an object. Another example, the same sentence but in a different tense, we can say Sarah drove a car. You can tell about the time here. In the first one, we talk about something happens regularly. But in the second one, we talk about something happened in the past. So we can say Sarah drove a car. In the third one here, we say Sarah has driven a car. In this kind of sentences, we call it the present perfect. We don't care about time. We just care about the action itself. Okay? So in all these three sentences, they go in the same pattern: subject, verb, object. Okay, so Sarah is the subject, drives is the verb, a car is the object. Okay, if I want to change it from the active form into passive form, I have to start with the object. Before I start, I have to decide two things. One, to decide which object I'm going to start with. Like here, we have a car. This is a simple example. And also, I have to find out what's the tense of the sentence. You can tell from the first one here, it is in the present. The second one, how do you know that it is in the present? Look at the verb drive. It is used in the present tense. So we say drive. In the second one, you can tell this sentence is in the past by looking at the verb drove. Drove is the past form of the verb drive. Okay. The last one, here we have has plus the past participle. Okay, to make the passive form, you need two things. You need first to use the verb be, as you know here. This is the verb be. And also you need to decide which tense you are going to use. If you use it in the present, you have to use either am, is, or are. Okay, is, or, this is am, sorry. In the past, you can use was, or you can use were. If it is in the past participle, you have used the past participle of the verb be, which is been. Okay. Now let's change the form now from active into passive. Let's use another marker so it will be better and clearer. So here Sarah drives a car. So we agreed that a car is the object. So we have to start with a car. We say a car. And notice that we have to start with a capital letter because we are starting a new sentence here. A car. Now, since it is in the present, we say a car is driven. Here I need to use the past participle of the verb drive. Okay, and you can use the agent, which is called Sarah here, preceded by. You can say a car is driven by Sarah, or you can say a car is driven, and if the agent is not important, you can omit it. You can say a car is driven, and you can put your full stop and to end your sentence. The other one here also, we start with the object. Okay, a car. Now notice here we have it in the past, so we can say here was, because it's in the past. Was it driven? A car was driven. You can say by Sarah, or you can end your sentence. It's up to you how important the agent is. Okay, you can decide about that. The last one here is in the present perfect. We can say a car, and we can use also has been here. Why do we use been here? Because we have the sentence in the present perfect. A car has been driven. Okay, you can say by Sarah as well, or you can stop like this. Okay, this is how we can form the passive form out of the active form. We'll see some examples also. Let's clean the board now and go to the next slide. Okay, we have another example, as you can see here. We're talking about Saudi Arabia National Day. Saudi Arabian people celebrate National Day on September 23rd. Okay, we use this. We have to decide first what tense we're using the sentence. It is in the present simple. How do you know? Here we have the verb, so it is in the present, and here is the subject, Saudi Arabia people, and here National Day is the object. So it's clear now. Since we know the object, we can start with. Okay. Also another example, but in the past here. Saudi Arabia people celebrate the National Day. We have to put it in the past, sorry. Celebrated National Day on September 23rd. And the last one, Saudi Arabian people have celebrated. We have it here in the present perfect. Now let's answer this one. Since we know that the National Day or Saudi National Day is the object, we start with National Day. We can say here National Day in the present. So we use is here. Is, and the verb is celebrate. We use it in the past participle. So we say celebrated, the past participle. It is a regular verb. So the past participle of the verb celebrate is celebrated. Celebrated, National Day is celebrated. You can say by, for example, Saudi Arabian people, or you can just finish your sentence like this. It's up to you. The second one here, Saudi Arabia people celebrated. We do the same, but instead of using is here, which indicates the time present, we use was. So we can say here again, National Day was. Why do we use was here? Because here we use the verb in the past. Was celebrated by Saudi people. Okay. The last one here, also we do the same. We start with the object, which is the National Day here. We can say the National Day or National Day. But we have to notice that this sentence is in the present perfect, so we have to use it in the same tense. So we can say National Day has. Why do we use has here? Because National Day is a singular, one. So National Day has been. Here been is the past participle of the verb be, has been celebrated. Celebrated. Okay. You can continue using by the Saudi Arabian people, or you can stop like this. Okay. Now let's move to the chart that you can find in your book on page 56 that we're going to study in a while. Okay, here this is the form. This is the chart that is on your book, page 56. We use the passive to emphasize the action and not who or what does it. So when we use the passive here, we concentrate more on the action itself. We don't care who did the action. Okay, but when we use it in the active form, we care about the agent or the one who did the action. Okay. Also, to make the passive, we use the verb be and the past participle, as we said before, and you can find all the verbs in the past and the past participle, the irregular verbs, on page 82. Okay, let's use it in the present simple or simple present. Millions of people use the internet. As always, we have to decide what is the tense and where the subject, where the verb, and where the object are. Okay, like here, millions of people. Here, this is the subject. Use is the verb. This is the subject. Here is the verb, and here is the object. Okay, it is in the active form. Now we want to change it into passive. What can we do here? We start with the internet here. Why? Because the internet is the object. Millions of people use the internet. Subject, verb, object. The passive form, we start with the object. Okay? We can say here the internet is used. Why do we use here is? Because it is in the present. It is in the present. And the subject here is singular, one. Because we can say the internet is used by millions of people. Okay, what if the sentence is in the past? Look at the example here. Technology has changed, sorry, not in the past, in the present perfect. Technology has changed our lives. So this is the subject, has changed is the verb, and our lives is the object. Okay, where to start? We have to start with our lives to make it in a passive form. Okay, we can say our lives has been changed. Why do we use has been changed here? Because it is in the present perfect. And you can say by technology, or you can stop like that. You can has been changed, and it will be enough. If it is in the past, like this example, for example, Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone. Okay, so Alexander Graham Bell is the subject here. Okay, invented is the verb. The telephone here is the object. So how can I change the active form into passive? As always, I start with the object. What is the object here? The telephone. Okay, this is the telephone that Alexander Graham Bell has invented. Okay, we can say like this: the telephone was invented. Why do we use was here? Because you notice the verb here is in the past, so we use was. Okay, and the telephone here is singular, we use was. If it is plural, more than one, we use were here. Okay, we will see some more examples in the coming slides. Okay, it is very important, as we said, about the agent, when to use the agent, use by, or when to not to use it. Let's read here. The person or thing that does the action is the agent, as we said. When we want to show the agent, when we want to know who did the action or it was done by whom, we can mention the agent. We use by plus the agent. When the agent is not necessary, we leave it out. When it is not necessary, when we don't want to know who did the action or who this action has been done by, we omit it. Okay, we'll see some more examples. A thief stole my bike. Again, we have to decide now where the subject is, where the verb is, and where the object is. So the thief here is the subject, stole, and it is in the past, it is the verb, and here it is the object. Okay, if I want to make a passive form, I start with the object. Okay, like this one here, my bike was stolen. Okay, you can say by the thief, but it is not necessary. You don't need it. It was stolen, and that's enough. You don't know who stole it, and you don't care if it's a thief or not, so you omit by and the agent. So my bike was stolen. Another example here, someone has broken the window. Now you need to decide where the subject is, where the verb is, and where the object is. Someone is the subject, has broken is the verb, and the window is the object. Okay, if we want to tell what happened without taking care of the one who did the action, we care about the action itself. We can say like this: the window has been broken, and that's enough. If you want to say by someone, it's not important, it's not necessary, so you can stop like this: the window has been broken. Another example, the boys broke the window. Okay, if you want to tell who broke the window or whom this window was broken by, you can say it. The window was broken by the boys, because why do we use by here? It's necessary, not like before, because it is specified. When we say someone, we don't care, someone. Okay, it's not a specific person or a specific people. So in here, we know who broke the window, so we use it in the passive form by saying like this: the window was broken by the boys. Okay. Now we move to exercise A in your book, page 56. We have two exercises, exercise A and exercise B. And the exercise A, we need to change the active form into passive. And exercise B, you need to change the passive into active. We'll make some examples for you, model answers for these exercises, and you will do the rest by yourself. A company in Germany makes this car. So a company in Germany, here is the subject. Makes is the verb. These cars, here is the object. So now I know how to start. I start with the object. So we can say here, like this one: these cars are made. Okay, why do we use are here? Because it is plural, cars, more than one. And why do I use it in the present? Because here the verb makes. It is in the present. It's clear that this sentence is the simple present. These cars are made by a company in Germany. Okay, another example: Carl Benz made the first car in 1886. How can you change it? You have to decide the subject, the verb, and the first car, which is the object. And you start with the object again. Another example: companies all over the world, this is the subject here, this is the subject, produce, this is the verb, and cars is the object. So if you know now which one is the subject, which one is the verb, which one is the object, it will be easier for you how to start and how to use the tense, the right tense, whether you use it in the present, in the past, or in the present perfect. Another example: they have made many changes in our city. Here, they is the subject, have made is the verb, many changes is the object. Okay, next one: did Alexander Fleming discover penicillin? Okay, here also we need to decide. So notice here it is in the question form. Okay, we can say here: did Alexander Fleming is the subject, discover is the verb, and penicillin is the object. Okay, how can we answer? We'll give you the model answer for that in a moment. Okay, this is the model answer. The first car was made by Carl Benz. Cars are produced over the world today. Are produced. Notice here, many changes have been made in our city. And here, look at number 4. It is in the question form. Did Alexander Fleming discover penicillin? Here we use it also in the same form. We use it in the past. We say, was penicillin discovered by Alexander, and so on. Okay, the rest of this exercise, number 5, 6, 7, and 8, look at them. Pause the video. Try to answer it yourself. In a while, I will show you the model answer for these sentences. Okay, this is the model answer for that. Documentary was filmed. Were you invited to the graduation? English is spoken. Okay, the digital camera was invented. All these are in the passive form. Now we move to the second exercise, that is exercise B. We will make the opposite now. We will change the passive into active. Okay, so we have to start with the subject. Look at the first one here. Typewriters have been replaced by word processors, like this one. This is what typewriters used long time ago, but now in our modern life we use word processors. Okay, how can we change it from passive to active? We can start with the subject. We can say word processors, like this: word processors, word processors. Okay, word processors. We can use the same tense we can say has or have. We use have here because we're talking about more than one process. Word process have replaced what? Have replaced typewriters. Okay, typewriters. Okay, so this is how we write it. Okay, the other example here, all entries in this restaurant are served. This is in the passive form. We need to change it into active. We can say, sorry, let's read it again. All entries in this restaurant are served with rice and salad. We can say, how can we say it? We can say rice and salad, all entries in this restaurant are served with rice and salad. How can we use it here? We can say the restaurant serves, served, because serves because it is in the present. As we said here, are served indicates that this sentence is in the present. So we can say a restaurant serves rice and salad. Okay. The next example here, was the first airplane flown by the Wright brothers? We can also change it from passive into active. Okay. This is a question form. We need also to use it in the past. Let's see the model answer for this exercise. Here we can say, as you can see here, word processor have replaced as we wrote before. And in number 2 here, this restaurant serves all entries with rice and salad. And the number 3, was the first airplane flown by Wright brothers? We can say, did the Wright brothers fly the first airplane? And number 4, soap has been used by people in the Middle East for nearly 5,000 years. And we can do this, change it from passive into active by writing it like this. People in the Middle East have used soap for nearly 5,000 years. We have also 4 remains, number 5, 6, 7, 8. You need to pause the video, watch, look at these sentences, try to do it yourself, and play the video again and find the model answer for this exercise because we run out of time. Okay, is it clear for you? And by this we come to the end of our class today. Thank you for watching and see you inshallah in our next episode. Goodbye.